We're joined by Arizona head coach Jay Johnson. Brian Savick, go ahead.
Coach, thank you for being here. Congrats on advancing to the College World
Thank
Series.
you.
Coach, I know back in 2016, you made it to in Omaha in your first year in Arizona. You're now heading back 5 years later. Kind of just go through the whirlwind of emotions you're experiencing right now, and how significant is this achievement for the program?
Well, in terms of my emotions, this is the tied for first happiest day of my life, hands down. I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of this program. I'm so proud of the players, the coaches, administration. And there's so many people that contributed to this. Relative to the accomplishment, I mean, you can't get further past one hand than the number of programs that have been twice in their last five opportunities. I mean, it's 6 years, but it's 5 years really, because we didn't have a World Series last year. And two completely different teams, two completely different stories, but one thing: incredible character, incredible fundamentals, and incredible competitiveness out of both groups. And this is as good as it gets.
So, Coach, you obviously made Super Regional in 2016. Did that experience in the past help you and the team at all in terms of preparation and knowing what to fully expect of a game of this magnitude?
Yeah, great question. In all phases of my job, I try to get better each and every day and every year. And that's what I require of the players. I require the same thing of myself. I will tell you that the preparation for this season, this postseason, throughout our program has been elite. Coaches, players, administrators, everybody. And those experiences certainly helped. I think, I gave them a little bit of, I don't know, it was about 30 seconds of, playing for the national championship in 2016 when you're one step away from doing that. And, last night we were one step away. And, I think there's some things that we drew from that I think were beneficial. But this is all about these guys. This is all about their attitude, their competitiveness, their character, and their ability to respond in a championship fashion to everything that's thrown in front of them. Success, failure. We're a very consistent team all year long, and that speaks to their mindset as much as their ability. And they've answered every challenge along the way. And we're going to really, really enjoy this tonight, and then go to work on the next one that we want to go get.
Thank you.
Michael Lev, go ahead.
You've referenced your vision for the program a couple times over the last couple weeks. The totality of the performance tonight, does that sort of fit with what your vision has been?
Yeah, you hear me talk a lot about making the opponent nameless and faceless, and that's an unbelievable opponent. It's one of the best programs in college baseball. I mean, to be in the postseason and the super regionals and knocking on the door to Omaha as consistently as Ole Miss is, I mean, this is the worthy opponent. Like, when I saw the bracket come out, I wanted them to win their side. And I know that sounds crazy because of how good their team is. And last night in the middle of the game, I'm going like, wow, be careful what you wish for. But it totally validates exactly what you're talking about. Again, to make it to the College World Series two times in the last five chances in this day and age is remarkable, and something that I'm very proud right now. I'm very proud of the players. I'm very proud of the people in our organization, and I'm very proud of how they handle situations of significance and magnitude, whatever you want to call it. I think it shows character. It's one thing to say you want to go do something. It's an entirely different thing to go do it over every day for a long period of time. And these guys have done that.
It's probably hard for you to have enough perspective on this question to answer it properly, but how would you sort of describe the experience in 2016, clinching on the road far away from home versus clinching here at home?
This is way better. This is way better. I not to take anything away from that. That was amazing. That was like, I'm trying to think of, that was like Rocky IV, the movie, and we were Rocky going in to beat Ivan Drago with that pitching staff and that in hostile environment and 14,000 people. And this was more of, I don't know how to say it, but everything that you dream about. And I apologize for making you guys wait. It's just, the significance of that out there right now, and seeing our players as happy as they are, as proud as they are, get a chance to be with them at that time with them and their families is, why I do this. And so I couldn't be happier. And trust me, you'll have no problem getting my attention for Vanderbilt, North Carolina State, Stanford, and whoever is on the other side of the bracket. I pretty much put blinders on today and focused on this. And what a day! This is a great day.
You have referred to this season as almost like 2 years, right? Because it's sort of like a continuation of 2020 into 2021. But how many total years would you say that this day was in the making?
You might have the day that I was hired, but that day, the day I got the job, Preston Price committed to Arizona. He was the first one, and he was on the mound tonight. Dante Williams, Tony Bullard, they visited on the same day. It was really hot in June or early July of 2015. And it spanned all the way to this summer. Tanner Otrimba, what a story, getting him as a transfer. Austin Smith, getting him as a transfer. That all occurred this summer. And that's not the start and the end of it, just with recruiting. I look at somebody like Kobe Cotto. I love that kid like he's my son, because I didn't keep him on the roster the first year, just basically allowed him to be in the program. And then the next year, he made the team, but didn't travel all the time. And then last year, he was kind of on his way a little bit. I think if 2020 would have continued, this wouldn't be a surprise. He would have taken on a bigger role. And then now he's one of the best second basemen in the country. And, think about the guys in recruiting that were going to other schools at one point that ended up coming here for a variety of circumstances. And so, it's every day of your life from whatever the day that I got here, to tonight. And so personally, it holds a lot of significance.
Ryan Peterson, go ahead.
What went into the decision to go with Dawson, and was that the plan even before game 2?
No, it was not. I woke up pretty early this morning, like 5:30, no alarm, but like when I woke up, it was like, go. It was one of those mornings. So I came up here, and what I did was I wrote out their lineup that I thought that they would go with against a right-handed pitcher, because that's what we had available, was about 4 or 5 different options for a right-handed pitcher. And then we wanted to script the game, and it turned out a lot different than it was supposed to. We had Dawson pegged for 5 hitters, or if he went 6 outs or 6 up, 6 down, he was going to throw the first 2 innings. That's about the point where he's been at his best throughout the year. And if you look at his outings, if we've tried to go past that, it hasn't always gone good. You know what I mean? So I got greedy, and that was the one mistake that I made, was he'd gone 6 up, 6 down. We tried to let him go get Dunhurst to start the third and then give a base hit. Then we were going to go to TJ for one time through the order is what we were going to do. And then us scoring all those runs, completely changed it. And I thought he has such great stuff. They started to, press a little bit to try to catch up. They opened up the zone, so he remained a good matchup. But it was going to be TJ to Riley Cooper for 5 hitters. We felt like that's what he had available. Then we were going to go to Chandler, kind of in the same way as TJ, one time through the order. And then it was going to be Preston, Ian Churchill for a couple hitters, and then finish with Vince. But we got the lead, and TJ got rolling, and I like the way that worked out a lot better than how it was scripted in my head.
Does it say something about how much your pitching staff has improved that you had all those options to go with and didn't even need to use them?
Yeah, and again, like, this season's not an accident. This was built by design, not by default. And, whether you talk about scholarship usage, player development, work habits of players, we knew this is how this would be. I don't know that we have, a first-round draft pick pitcher for this year's draft. We probably don't. But we have a lot of guys that can collect outs to win college baseball games. And I've always believed in their roles are to be out-getters. And the staff typifies that. We can come at you from a lot of different looks and make it really hard throughout the game to make adjustments. And that was the plan today, was if they constantly had to figure out how they were going to approach us, and it's another guy and it's a different look, we could steal a bunch of outs along the way, get the lead, get them to press. And then, man, offensively, we did so much more than that. I mean, that was legit. I mean, I think this is the best offense in Pac-12 history, and I'm not a historian, so I can't validate that. But if there's one that's equal, I mean, I'd like to see what that looked like.
Is there something about your team losing a game by a margin of 3, 4, 5 runs that inspires something in them? Because each time this has happened this year, you guys have had a blowout win right after it.
I think they're just great people. I think they're just highly competitive. I think they're made up of great character, and they have the fundamentals necessary to go out and execute. So when you put those three things together with the talent that we have, then that's the response that you get. So none of it surprises me. And, everybody points to that Washington State game where we got completely drummed, and wasn't like a big thing. We went back to the hotel, had study hall, went to the park an hour and a half early, started working, because that's what we do. When things go bad, you have a choice of how do you respond. These guys know how to respond. And some of them have been through, failure, heartbreak, and they know how to get back up. And you see it in the middle of games, and you see it after a bad game. And so they were trained to respond the right way today.
Thank you.
Back to Brian Savick.
Coach, kind of just go through your overall takeaways from tonight's game.
Yeah. We kept our routine that we've been in the postseason here. We didn't change anything. We met in a different meeting room at 12 o'clock than the one we had. But that was, Dante told me we should just stay in the conference room instead of the other room we were going to. So we did that. And then I didn't have to say a word. I just kind of looked around the room and said, okay, I'll be back at 3:15. We're going to go do our video prep for their pitching staff. We're going to hit in the cages at 3:50. I made the pitchers stay in there. I shut the door, and I laid out the 7-pitcher plan, which we only use 4, which, again, I'm very happy about. And then they went and they ate lunch and did our deal in terms of the cages and all that. And then in the game, I thought Dawson getting a 0 in the first inning was big. It just, and you're in these game 7s, if you will, championship type games, winner go home type games. If you can get a lead, that's a really, really big deal. So him getting a 0, and then, Brandon, I mean, what a performance tonight. I mean, wow. I mean, that was like Tony Gwynn-like. I mean, as just a pure hitter, goes a double. And then Tony, I mean, again, what a unbelievable 2 weekends he's had to stay on a breaking ball off a guy that was deemed unhittable. I mean, I had an SEC coach tell me that Broadway is as close to game over as you can find in college baseball. So to get that 1, I thought was big. Then to go get the 0. And then in the third, I think this was a big tipping point in the game to hold them to 1 instead of 2 when they had second and third no outs. That was a key point in the game. And then great 2-strike at bat by Dante, and then a great 2-strike at bat by Jacob. And he's just so talented. He ended up hitting a home run. And then we were kind of off and running. Ryan smashed that ball. And then it was just an assault of quality at bats. And it was fun. I thought our field was put to bed appropriately for this season, given the quality of these players and these hitters in this offense. So what a performance. I think Friday night's game and Sunday's game are the best we've played all year. And we've played some really good baseball this year. So that says a lot.
Thank you.
Michael Lev, go ahead.
Starting Dawson Nets, I think, caught a lot of us off guard, but he has been pitching extremely well lately. Still, really difficult set of circumstances, a lot of pressure, a lot of energy in the stadium. What about his sort of makeup or character led you to believe that he could handle the heat out there?
Yeah, you just said it, Michael. It was because of his makeup and character that I wanted him to start the game. And it was the most important outs of the game to me were going to be the first 6 to 9. And so we kind of reverse engineered it. And he's had like 4 or 5 really good outings in a row. And he's a guy that kind of rises to the challenge or to the moment, that kind of thing. So I just felt like mentally he would be the best. And then I thought it would throw them off a little bit. I don't think they would have seen that coming. And like I said, I had him for 2 innings, and then I got greedy because he went 6 up and 6 down and was so darn impressive that we tried to go get one more out. And he was actually going to come out of the game either way. After that Dunhurst at bat, he just ended up hitting a single. Then we were going to go to TJ. And wow, what a performance by him.
Sure. And one last thing for you. I know that tonight is for celebrating the achievement, and you're going to shift gears tomorrow and start working on your prep, but you're going to get Rocker or Leiter in that first game. What are your just kind of initial thoughts on that matchup between one of those, elite pitchers and your elite offense?
I told the players on selection Sunday, there's no other way I'd have it. I mean, this is meant to be for this team, and we're really, really excited. We know what they are and how quality they are and all of those types of things. And so, I mean, what a better way to start the College World Series than that?
And we'll finish up with Javier Morales.
Hey, Jay, Jerry Kindle and Andy Lopez are 2 coaches at Arizona that got into multiple College World Series. You joined them with that. What does that mean to you?
I can't even begin to express it because of the respect that I have for both of those men. And completely different styles of coaches, but the best. I mean, they're the standard. They're why I take this job. Jerry Stitt, throw him in there as well. Jim Wing, throw him in there as well. I mean, sometimes, I'll pinch myself that I'm the head coach at the University of Arizona. And honestly, all I want to do is make everybody that cares about this program, this university, from this town proud. And it doesn't mean going to Omaha, but to have a second crack at being in Omaha twice is very meaningful to me. And like I said, the root of that is I just hold this program and this place in such high regard. And so, I mean, I won't even think about that for years to come, but I'm extremely proud of it. I'm going to be honest with you.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you. See you in Omaha.